Deadpool. Today we're going to review the Marvel Legends series line Deadpool Build a Strong Guy. So first one we got here is this blue Deadpool. I'm going to pop it out of the package and tell you what it comes with. And we're going to take out the Strong Guy head. So he comes with a head. So pop that out, see what that looks like later. Here he comes with a gun, two guns, a sword, two swords actually, which I'm assuming go in the back. Pop them out. Alright, so here he is. If you're a fan of Deadpool, this is pretty cool because it's just a different color. Deadpool stands out. It's like X-Force colors. So I like to bend all the joints when we first take them out. So the two swords will go in here. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to keep their accessories on the side, but this is what you're getting with this Deadpool. Okay. Black Tom Cassidy. Pretty interesting one because you're not going to really see many Black Tom Cassidy figures. So Black Tom Cassidy, one of the figures that's cool to have if you're a collector, only because you don't really get these very many places, any Black Tom Cassidy figures. So you have Black Tom Cassidy, which I'm going to pull out in a second, and then this kind of cane-like thing, and then you get the back piece of Strong Guy. Put that on the side. So not a great big piece there, nothing major. So Black Tom Cassidy, again, when we pull him out, we like to make sure the joints are all good. He is pretty much a simple figure. There's nothing special, and at the end I am going to rate each one in the line. But red boots, all in black, so nice stands out colors, black and red. But there you go. Okay. This one is Shikla, the shape-shifting superhuman queen of the undead and former Mrs. Deadpool. Honestly, prior to this, I knew nothing about this woman until I just read the back of this box. I'm surprised she has a piece of Strong Guy that's only an arm. I would have given her almost the entire body just to try to sell it because I can't imagine many people wanting this fig, but it does have the cool right arm. As you can see, this is coming together. She also comes with this creature. I don't know what it's like a walking shark. I don't know what its name is. I'm sure anyone that follows this will tell me, if anyone follows this. And here she is. Most of the female Marvel figures are pretty much the same body, just repainted, so there's nothing significantly special about this. I guess if you're a Shikla fan, this would be the figure that you'd want to have. She has this necklace that I'm sure will possibly come off. So, and she has this, almost like a Storm would have. And then again, this little weird creature. Next up is Maverick. So he absorbs the force of enemy attacks, converting it into hyperconcussive blasts of power. Maverick isn't really a major character. If you were a card collector or a comic book collector back in the day, in the 90s, he was around, but you don't really hear too much about Maverick nowadays. So you're not going to normally find a figure of Maverick until now. They finally made him. So he comes with the left arm of Strong Guy. He comes with two guns. And the figure itself, when I pull him out here, looks pretty decent, actually. So, again, a character that's not very well known. We move these joints, but pretty cool. Whole body scan, the structure of it, as you see in the back. Almost like some coils here. So a decent figure, actually, for someone So now we got Sunspot, and this one actually looks super cool. So if you're a fan of the New Mutants or X-Force, this is the one that you want to get. This is a great one. pull him out. He comes with a front body piece of Strong Guy. Big piece, actually. So the front, the chest, and the torso. That's a big piece. Surprisingly, one of the biggest pieces we pulled out now, the biggest piece we pulled out now, and he's actually one of the cooler figures. Usually they put the big pieces with the not so cool figures, so you have to buy them. But this is Sunspot. Awesome. The coloring is just cool. It's just super cool. Right now, of the ones, and I will rate them at the end, that I pulled out so far, this is probably the best one. He also comes with 2 of these that you put on his hands to make it look like he's thrusting some of that at you. It's a really cool figure, actually. Okay, next up, another awesome figure. We have Warpath. Superhuman strength and speed. So pop him out here. He comes with, it looks like the right leg. Comes with interchangeable hands, and this figure is very big. So super cool. One downside to these, he does have these shoulder pads. They do pop in, but they come out very easily. So you really have to push them in. One of the first figures of Warpath, which actually may be Thunderstrike.
Thunderbird.
Is this Toy Biz fig. This is a 1992 Toy Biz. So at the time, this was not that great, but you can see he has his feather, just like this one has the feather. He has the big old shoulder pads, The costume itself is the same. Coloring is a little different, but pretty much the same there. This is 1992, and then 1994, they did improve it, so you have a much thicker, stronger one with some articulation in the leg that this one did not have, in the kneecap. So this one's actually, at the time, was a really cool Toy Biz fig. So yeah, so 1992, terrible fig. 1994, decent. Brand new right here. Great coloring. Great face. The size of the fig is really good. You have these big shoulder pads that I said do pop out pretty easily. You have the boots with the frills on them. So an awesome fig to add to your collection. The last figure in this line is this pirate Deadpool. It's almost like they didn't know what else to put, so they just put a Deadpool that's a pirate, if you're a fan of pirates and Deadpool. So he comes with the left leg. He also comes with some pirate swords and an old pirate pistol. So you want to see that? 2 swords and pirate pistol. I can't imagine many people, if you're going to play with these figures, playing with this type of Deadpool, but maybe displaying it, especially if you're a pirate. This would be one you'd want to display in your horrible old boat, your pirate boat. It's not bad. He does come with this cape that's been eaten by years of sea salt, as you can see. This pirate hat that also has been eaten by years of sea salt. And then the pirate frill here. A black glove, and then no glove over here. So, is it a good figure? It's different. I don't know about good. Now, before we rank them, we're going to pop this leg in and show you. This is what it makes. So if you get that line of 7, you make this figure. It's actually a really cool Build-A-Figure. There are some things I'm going to tell you about that are not the greatest. But it's a pretty cool figure itself. As you can see, just like Strong Guy of the comics, tiny head, bigger upper body, and then kind of shrinks down. Really awkward feet and all that kind of stuff. He's not that heavy. So you build all those pieces, but he's not heavy, so he's not super strong, I guess you could say. But let's compare him to this Toy Biz one, which was early 90s. There really isn't much different. There's slight coloring differences with the blue to this shade, but everything else is pretty much the same, except one notable exception here is if you look on this, on the old Toy Biz one, they have the silver of the buckles. And then surprisingly, you have this Build-A-Figure. The buckles are not colored in silver. It's just yellow. But if we ignore that, you have a very good figure to add to your other collectibles. And, you know, have cool X-Force here. So that's really awesome. A figure you wouldn't ever think to have is a Build-A-Figure. So now I'm going to rank them in order, including the Build-A-Figure that you made. Okay, so now we're going to order, in my opinion, the 7 in this line, 8 if you include Strong Guy, which we will include. So this is the lowest ranking figure. It's Shikla. She does come with a shark, walking shark, but it's just, you know, it's not the greatest figure. I'm going to give this a rating of a 4 on a scale of 1 to 10. The shark itself might get a 4.5 just because it's cute. Okay, so that's the lowest. Next up, it's not a bad figure, it's just when are you going to use it? Like I said, unless you're a pirate and have your own pirate ship, I just can't imagine you ever using this. So this is the next lowest ranked one. So this is number 7 of 8 on my ranking scale, and I'd probably give this a 5.5. It's not that bad of a figure, actually. Next up, Black Tom Cassidy. Not an exceptional figure, but you're never going to find a Black Tom Cassidy ever again, I don't think. So, I mean, it's pretty simple. I'm going to give it a 5.5, 6. And it is the next one as we move up. Now we have Maverick. Again, pretty good figure, pretty solid. It's just many people don't know Maverick. So it has that going for him. This would be the 5th best in that line. His holster actually is pretty cool, where you can hold one of his guns. Pretty decent there. Blue Deadpool is number 4 of the top ones here. So smack dab in the middle, really. Decent if you like Deadpool, if you want the Deadpool that looks like the one you know in red. This is not the one you'd get, but X-Force Deadpool, this is the one you'd want to get. And like I mentioned before, 2 swords can go in there, which is pretty cool. So this I'm going to give a 6.5. Now we go to the top 3. Sunspot. It's just cool. I love the coloring. I absolutely love the coloring. I was never a true fan of Sunspot, but it's cool to have this figure. So this is going to get a 7.5. I just love the face. Number 2 is the one that they all make, Strong Guy. This is going to get an 8 rating score. It's a cool figure. I wish it did have a little bit more like heaviness to it. It just doesn't. But you know, no big deal. And the number 1 in the Build-A-Figure Strong Guy line is this Warpath. I'm going to give this a 9. And it's just, the coloring's good. The face scan is awesome. It's just a heavier figure. It's well worth getting. Even if you don't want to build a fig, I would say this would be one that I would be intrigued to get, especially if you're an X-Men fan. All right.